Hello everyone. Feel like knowing more connection from past Xenoblade
Automated voice? I'm out.
What?
Hey, Sparks Opus, could you help me out here? It seems that some people don't like me. So I want you to do this one here for me. Please?
I hope you realize how awkward this will be, right?
Ah, dude. You're fine, trust me. It's part of the experience. You can do it.
Hey everyone.
The end point of it is suicide.
But on a more serious note, I'm actually glad that you guys are once again joining here with me to look up some more connections that we together could find in Xenoblade Chronicles 3. And I mean, the only reason I can still keep making these videos is because you always provide even more details and secrets that I couldn't find myself, so you did a very well job. Thank you. Like I did in the last video, I wanted to make some corrections from the last video. So first up we have the door in, well, Dana Desert. I thought, and some others, that it might be the entrance to the womb in Torna, but like it turns out, it was just a little hideout for the Sigiri hero quest, so yeah. Would have been cool though. Now for this one, when it comes to the statues in the city, honestly, a lot of you have been keeping discussions in the comments about who of these statues is which character, and honestly there are every time slightly different answers, so I leave the rest to your imagination. When it comes to the flora in front of the Mekonos sword, instead of being a Xenoblade X reference, it might be things from Bionis' interior. And it looks like Bionis got stabbed by that sword, so it wouldn't be too far-fetched to say that all the flowers and flora you see in front of it is actually from Bionis' interior. Talking about Mekonos, someone said that Kozali actually says the word Mekonos. I haven't noticed it myself, to be honest. If some of you guys saw it yourself and you can confirm it, please tell me if it's true or not. Something that I noticed myself while capturing footage for this video is that these crystals at Erythea Sea, which I said previously could belong to Valak Mountain, look actually pretty similar to crystals that you can find at Sator Marsh. But I'm not drawing a conclusion here, it's just something that I noticed. But we will come to Satol Marsh later again. I was talking about Vandam probably being a descendant of the Vandam of Xenoblade Chronicles 2. I mean, I know that there is a, let's call it Vand character in every game, but since they had the same voice actor, I thought there might be some connections here. You guys said that in a post-battle dialogue between Vandam and Poppy, he says that she reminds him of his lad who passed on. It doesn't really answer the question, but I thought it's worth mentioning. And yes, his actual name isn't Vandam, so what do I know? Another thing that's worth mentioning is that in an endgame quest for Nia, she actually mentions being saved by a person called Vandam, which of course we all remember that scene. For the last thing, I wondered where on earth Dromark hides. Look, I don't think that means much when it comes to him being either dead or alive, but this is definitely him. And by the way, when the door is closed, there is what looks like a Aegis core crystal engraved into the door. There are a few other things I wanted to mention in this room. First thing, if you look at the ceiling, you see water there. And whose element was that? Exactly, Nia. But Dromark had water as his element as well. So maybe my boy is up there? I don't know. We all love to make some theories, am I right? When it comes to the consoles, A comment mentioned that the shape around their crystal looks like an Aegis core crystal. I can see that, yes, but not what that's supposed to mean. Well, and it's not only Mobius who have this halo thingy around them. It's actually the Ouroboros too that have a halo thing at all of them, just like Siren. So, for many of these questions, I really hope that the DLC will answer it, but we can do nothing than just wait, I guess. Or maybe it just looks cool. Then we have this vessel over there. It seemed pretty familiar to me, but I wasn't so sure about it where I've seen it before. Then I saw the screenshot that I had still on my Switch. Maybe new Poppy XL Deluxe, aka Poppy Buster, got repurposed for that? Maybe. But this one has to be a reference. Well, see it for yourself. Then there is a side quest for a lady that wants to write chronicles of past stories. And guess what she needs? Collection items from Xenoblade Chronicles 1 and 2. In Eternal Canopy, you can find leathery wing fossils, which is probably fossilized High-Entia wings. At the Distant Fingertip, you can find the sinister faceplate, probably from Metal Face. Funny thing is, in German, it actually pretty much says word for word Metal Face, so I think this is a pretty confirmed thing. The Grimy Identification, the ID card you can find in Xenoblade Chronicles 2 by defeating the Infernal Guldo from Galea, or how we also know her, Lady Mayneth. Then we have the Rusted Pressure Helm that you can find in Dana Desert. Maybe the helmet from someone who could be a random salvager that happened to be around Torna. Then we have the last thing, the hexagonal chip in Ruins of Cebu. It could be a remaining core crystal or a core chip. And since it's found in Fonza Maima, maybe it's from Sua or Abrona, but that's just speculation. Because, why am I saying it? You can actually find two bosses in this place as well, the Agnian Assassins, that you can find in Fonza Maima. They could be a reference to the fight against Malos and Echos at the place of the Aegis' awakening. I think it's a beautiful little detail, but in Aerith Sea we have these northern lights in the nighttime, and in some occasions you can actually see the same thing in Erythea Sea. Then there is a place in Xenoblade Chronicles 2 and 3 that share the same name, Melnath's Shoulder, that are both part of Gormod. And while reading the comments, someone mentioned that Gormod's actual name might be Melnath, which this is something I didn't know myself, so kinda glad that I know that now. Some smaller details are that in Xenoblade 3 you start in Colony 9, which is the same colony you start with in Xenoblade Chronicles 1. I think I've mentioned it before, but the class of Nia makes Pyrus and Mithra's blades to appear on her back. Which brings me to Melia having two wings on her back, which looks like something a Telethia could have. I mean, you know the story of the High-Entia and Telethia, so there is probably nothing more to it and its only purpose is to look cool. Job well done, I guess. Remember I was talking about Satol Marsh before? In Fort Overbiss there are two squads, Soldnar and Katorl squad. There are two sigils from Xenoblade 1 that are named that way, the name of the High Antia Sororo statue goddesses, Katorl and Soldnar, which make both Sator Marsh. But that's not all. See this place? With these trees and the aura flowing around? This place could be what remains of Sator Marsh. And yes, Noah has Monado Arts. Now that the direct has happened, we know who the first DLC hero will be. And listen to what she says.
Xenoblade Chronicles 3 game. This is Ino, a new hero.
Is it just me? Or is she saying that she is the last and strongest artificial blade? Could this mean that Aina was the last project of Torah? And I mean, not only that, that would make her Poppy's little sister. Isn't that cute?
Too precious.
That reminds me, there are 6 Noppons with an ultimate hammer. There are 6 sages. Then there is a secret 7th one, which turns out to be, instead of Sheik, Zelda. And then there is Riku, who turns out to be the 7th one. And there are 7 swirls over a deity with long hair that could be an alternative version of Zanza. And with his power, the 7 Archsages Noppons and the Ouroboros that will repair the blade so Fi, the Blade of Link, can finally...
Stop it. Get some help.
Man, do I love theorizing. Had me like this guy over there. This game is sure a wild ride. You know, I wanted to make a part on every reappearing art. And my lord, there are so many of them. I started to make a few of them, but do you have any idea how many there are? There is one comment. Thank you, Christian Harris. Very cool. And to be honest, I think I'll leave it at that. But now for the last part. Musical connections. I could recommend you to lay back, enjoy the music, or else.
reaches out so far beyond what I can see.
You people also mentioned a lot of times Xeno Saga and Xenogear reference, but I'll be honest with you, I won't look too much into it because I haven't played these games myself, but I plan to do it, so I will include some comments and some pictures that I made, but I will leave it as that. I saw quite a few people talking about Xenoblade Chronicles X as well, but I don't think I will get too much into it as well because X is a game I haven't played myself too, so I saw some people mentioning that there is an origin-like thing there as well. So, I mean, if you're interested, you can always look it up yourselves. Do some of you have played Astral Chain, where you have a, let me just say, driver and blade, like, you know, the sword blade, the axe blade, the fist blade, the beast? And you have, what's this? An affinity chart? Does that mean that Astral Chain is just another? A comment mentioned that it's possible that Platinum Games took some inspiration from Xenoblade 2 for making Astral Chain. And funny enough, now when we're having Xenoblade Chronicles 3, the Ouroboros look actually a hell of a lot like the blades you could collect in Astral Chain. And if that's true, honestly, you love to see it, right? It's pretty cool. This video took quite a bit of effort to make since I'm not that experienced and it's the first time I made something with my own voice. And let me tell you, being a cutter on a phone, it's something else really. But that won't be for long. I am planning on getting myself a PC, so I'll keep you updated on that. And I would just love some appreciation and if you don't mind, leave a like. Or if you really didn't like it, leave a dislike, that's fine as well. And a sub would be nice. But other than that, thank you very much for watching. I really hope you enjoyed it. If you have more secrets you found, more connections you have to share, please do it in a comment. Maybe part 4 will happen sooner or later too then. Once again, Thank you guys very much. I hope you have a fantastic day.